2026 and FIFA World Cup qualifiers return this week. African nations are entering a crucial phase with match days 5 and 6 set to shape the race for World Cup 2026 in North America, with only group winners securing direct qualification and the four best runner-up fighting for a playoff spot. Every match matters. Egypt, Sudan, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia, and Morocco currently lead their groups, but traditional African powerhouses like Ghana and our country, Nigeria, are still under immense pressure. Today we'll be looking into this and doing a detailed analysis of some of the teams, followed by the latest futures. I am Chukwe Bukaike, and welcome to the sports show of on this wave of the Advent Cable Network Nigeria. And I won't be discussing this sports alone this morning. I have with me in the studio Michael Anko Bolu. Good morning and welcome to Sports.
Good morning, thank you very much. And we have 90 minutes for soccer, and I know we have less than 90 minutes. I hope we'll be able to do justice to all of these things in real time. Yeah.
All right, thank you for joining us this morning. And with us in the studio is Mr. Raphael Ojakumo. Mr. Raphael Ojakumo is a sports commentator. Mr. Raphael, good morning and welcome to Sports.
Good morning. I'm good to be here again. At this point in time, we're not discussing state of emergency. We're discussing what gives us joy and brings us together as sports.
As sport lovers. All right, joining us virtually from Delta State is Comrade Abraham Suko. Comrade Abraham Suko is a sports analyst. Comrade, good morning and welcome to Sports, our sports
Thank you.
segment. All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. My thoughts are largely aligned with Mr. Raphael. I'm glad that we have left the political scene behind. We can focus more on something that we enjoy, and it's really enjoyable. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome. And we also have joining us virtually from Lagos State, Miss Happiness Emine. She is the CEO of Football Gospel, and she's equally a sports analyst. Miss Happiness, good morning. Welcome to Sports.
Thank you very much for having me again here.
All right, you're welcome. And we've also been having lately Dr. Desiree Izu. Dr. Desiree Izu is a medical practitioner and also a sports analyst. Doctor, good morning and welcome to the show this morning. All right, Doctor is on his way and he will join us shortly. Viewers, remember to join this conversation by calling the number showing on your screen or equally sending in your comment via our various social media handle equally showing on your screen. So before we start the discussion, let's take a look at the front page of the Punch Sports Extra. And the story there says Revival Mission Econ on to restore Eagles World Cup hopes with Rwanda win, and that's a daily story on the Punch Sports Extra. The details of that story, pick a copy of the Punch Sports Extra and move straight ahead to page 6. So above the masthead, we have the story on Essen backs Boniface to end goals drought. All right, and beside that we have Adekbuju wants Chile against new system, and finally on that same page, page 6, we have new Eagles squad aside Whiskey. All right, so moving ahead, we have the story on page 7. It says Terry confident Mikel can still shine in EPL, and equally on page 7 we have the story on Lukman Chukwueze among Serie A's top 50 dribblers. All right, and pick a copy of the Punch Sports Extra and get full details of that story. All right, viewers, back here in the studio, remember we still have Raphael, and we have virtually Comrade Abraham, and we have Miss Happiness. Now, in my introduction, we made just opened about the ongoing rivalry or the ongoing immense struggle to qualify for the World Cup 2026. We have a lineup of games and matches to be played this weekend across Africa. Most especially, we have the match between Nigeria on the 21st of March. Raphael, let's hear your view about the ongoing struggle to qualify. Most of the players has come out to say that forget it. It's 3 points already for us against Rwanda on Friday. What do you have to say?
They can say all they want to say. At the end of the day, is what happens on the field of play that tells you the story at the end of the 90 minutes. And don't forget, like I said, it's behind the camera. Nigeria has never beaten Rwanda in Rwanda. The last time we played was a goalless draw, of which, if most likely there was VAR or the referee was being very sincere with himself, we had a goal that had no reason to be disqualified. Yes, it was disallowed, and till date nobody has been able to explain why that goal was disallowed. But let's not also forget that Rwanda recently beat Nigeria in Nigeria by 2-1, and we've not had it easy with this same Rwandan team. We are in this position today because we like to play politics with our sports. Yes, I was listening to a sister station one time during one of their sport programs, and then the host was asking when it was the 39-man squad, was asking why was Kelechi in that squad for someone who is almost disappearing. We don't even know what's happening with him. Recently, I think he's in Middlesbrough at the moment. Yeah, and then the former coach Eguavon was saying it would be unfair not to invite him. You see, when I talk about emotions, the way people handle emotions and issues, it would be unfair. It took us 4 games to know that Uzoho shouldn't even be in the goalpost. Mind you, we drew with Lesotho, we drew with Zimbabwe, and then lost to Benin Republic. Yes, you have an Ndidi in the squad who told us after we lost to Benin Republic that we mustn't win every game we play in. In 2016, Leicester City came into the Premiership from Championship and went all the way to win the league. Every player got onto the pitch believing that they win each game they play. Did they do it or not? Yes, they did it. So why would you come and tell people because you lost and people are grieving, and you come to say we mustn't win every game? Then what are you doing? Such players should not be in your national team because they don't have that fight, that spirit in them. So as it is now, where we are now is a make or ma situation. Rwanda is topping the group with 7 points. Nigeria is somewhere in the 5th position with 3 points. A win will take us 6 points. A point behind Rwanda, not minding whatever happens, with Benin Republic, South Africa, and the likes in the group. And also, mind you, Zimbabwe is coming to Nigeria. Anything that gives us 3 points in Rwanda would boost the morale of the guys to want to come and take the maximum 3 points again. So imagine you taking 6 points out of 6. That takes us to 9 points, somewhere close to the summit, which means anything we're doing from now onward, we're not even talking about draw. We're not talking about draw. It's winning all the way. And mind you, these players are talking tough like this because someone like Osimhen, if he misses this World Cup, the next World Cup he will be 30. Will he be in the radar of the Super Eagles at that point in time? Aruna Lukman will be in the space of 30. Olaino will be in the same space. All the likes of Ndidi, Chukwueze, and what have you, they've all. Do you understand me? So how do you speak of yourself? African Footballer of the Year 2023, African Footballer of the Year 2024, and there's nothing to speak of. You never played in the World Cup. You just be one of those guys that never got the opportunity of playing in the World Cup or what have you. So they are at the point. That's why they are speaking tough. I was even surprised on Osimhen landed the day they were asked to come to camp. Yes. This is somebody that would have been dragging his feet. But on the day they were asked to come to camp, he was
part of those who arrived early.
In fact, he was the first to land there.
The early birds.
Land there to say, we die here. Do you understand me? And I was, when you were reading your headline, somebody was saying maybe this is the game that Boniface will finally score. Please, they should not use our make or mark game to check if somebody will score or not. I trust me. You want to have people who have that fire in them. Someone like an Osimhen, someone like an Aruna Lukman, what's it called? Ademola Lukman rather. Someone like Tolu Arokodare. These are people who wants to prove a point and tell people that we can get this job done. Like I said from the beginning, it's not about what you say, but what you can prove on the pitch.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade Abraham, let's have your thoughts. We've played 4 games so far, and we have just 3 points. And our opponents for Friday, Rwanda, has played 4 games, and they have 7 points. So let's have your overview of the match we have on Friday, and equally, if you can give us a little insight on other countries who are still struggling to find their footing in the qualification.
Much, Mr. Ebuka. I would want to start by saying that Emmanuel Munike came out, I think, a few days back to say that we should not forget reality. In as much as there's a lot of buzz right now, but we should not forget reality. And the reality right now is that we are in a very, very precarious position in our group. We have 3 teams that have 7 points each, and it will be very, very difficult for us to surmount that. So that is our reality right now. I would also want to add that I have been very, very critical of our coach, Eric Shell. But in recent times, with the recent activities I have seen surrounding the Super Eagles, I must say that I have a renewed optimism, because Lukman came out to say that the strategy, the energy from the team, that there's a clear direction. I don't know if he's being honest, but I believe that he's a professional footballer, and I believe that he has no reason to lie or to be dishonest. So I would want to say that so far I have been really, really impressed with Eric Shell. I believe that he has also been able to impact discipline, because the fact that Mr. Raphael was saying that Sime arrived very early, I think that's not a coincidence. I believe I saw a clip, I think a clip of Snapchat that Iwobi was in a hurry to meet up a team meeting. He was actually running because he said that he did not want to pay a fine. So I believe that Super Eagles currently they have that discipline to actually do well. And as Mr. Raphael rightly said, from now on we have to have a spotless run of form, because we can't afford to drop more points, because as I said earlier, we are among the lowest in that particular group. Thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka.
All right, thank you, Comrade Abraham Soko. Miss Happiness, looking at all the groups in the World Cup qualifiers, I'm just looking through, and I see that there are some big countries or some top countries that are powerhouses in African football, who are still struggling to qualify. We have countries like Kenya, we have Mali, we have Guinea, we have Uganda, we have Ghana, and we equally have our country, our beloved country, Nigeria. So what's your overview? What do you think about not just only Nigeria, but these other countries that I've made mention of in their quest to qualify for the World Cup?
Talking about top countries in Africa and that is currently having issues and struggles to qualify for World Cup. The countries you called, Uganda, Kenya, Mali, Nigeria and Ghana, you tell me Nigeria and Ghana, those are top countries, like back to back, have always represented African in the World Cup stage. Kenya, Mali, theirs might just once or twice and all that. So Nigeria having issues currently, and Ghana having issues, struggling to qualify for the World Cup is actually a little bit more disappointing, because we are talking about a World Cup stage where Nigeria already has a name, Ghana already has a name, because Ghana is actually, before Morocco, the last World Cup, Ghana was that African country that everybody looked upon. I think 2010 or so, where Ghana almost qualified, if not for Uruguay, where we had Suarez and all those drama and all that. So if you're talking about Nigeria and Ghana struggling to qualify for the World Cup, it is more disappointing. That's why you can see all Nigeria fans are really agitating. Even the footballers, if you check, which every one of us know, they came to camp on time. It is not because they want to come on time. It is because they also want to prove that they can represent their country and take Nigeria to the World Cup, not minding the position they are on the table. If you are looking at the position we are on the table, Nigeria is fifth with just 3 points, like 3 points. Then we have Rwanda, we have South Africa, we have Zimbabwe with 7 points. Now we are going to play Rwanda tomorrow. The 21st we are talking about is tomorrow. We are going to play Rwanda tomorrow. And we are hoping to win Rwanda. Yes, we win Rwanda, then we are going to 6 points. Are we talking about South Africa? Are they going to lose their game? Zimbabwe, are they going to lose their game? So it is more of calculating. So if you're talking about Nigeria struggling to qualify for this World Cup, now it is disappointing. We have Lesotho. We drew with Lesotho. Like Lesotho, we drew with them. We have the other countries, we drew with them. And then Rwanda, fine, we have not won Rwanda before on the ground. I checked it online. 20 years, Nigeria has never won Rwanda on their ground. But do miracles happen in football? Yes. Do players play their heart in football because they want something? Yes. And I can give that to Nigeria players. Coming on time, giving their hearts. But then we are going to see the hearts tomorrow on the pitch for the 90 minutes they will be playing against Rwanda. So it is a bit disappointing. Nigeria, Ghana struggling for the World Cup 2026. It's not expected. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Our viewers, please remember you can join this conversation by calling the number showing on your screen or equally sending in your comment via our various social media handle. All right, so back to Mr. Raphael. So let's be more realistic. Let's look at this. Let's not let's call it spade a spade. Are we really prepared for this World Cup?
Let me remove. Like I would say, should I remove Jesse? Let me not be. You know, the truth is this. We've always been like this from time immemorial, where I can't remember the last time Nigeria faced a qualifying round head on from the word go. A lot of the competition, we get our acts together midway. Do you understand me? We get our acts midway. Sometimes it's almost at the tail end. It works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. One case in scenario is 2006, when we finish after drawing with Angola. We lost at their home. We drew here because we went to go and play in Kano, federal character. We're trying to carry the games everywhere. You know, after that game, we were hoping that Angola would at least draw somewhere or lose somewhere. And after that game, all the games Nigeria played, Nigeria won by either 5-1 or 5-0, both home and away. I remember Nigeria beating Algeria 5-1 in Algeria, and then coming home, I've forgotten who played in Abuja Stadium and beat them 5-0. But at that point in time, the deed was done. It was too late. Now, we're talking about, she mentioned we drew with Zimbabwe. If you watch the goal that they scored, Uzoho, you cry. We drew against Lesotho. Do you understand me? We drew against South Africa, who, if not for the last minute goal that Bashiru scored, would have lost at home to South Africa. And then we only that's where we got all our points from all the draws, and then we lost to what's called Benin Republic. Now you're asking me, are we really prepared for this? The question is, have we ever been prepared? Do you understand me? We just get to the point where we now start doing fire brigade approach. Now nobody's buying calculator because our phones have calculators now. Do you understand me? And then, like you say, Nigeria is one of the most religious nations in the world. So aside from the calculators, we also add prayers.
We pray well.
Yes. Yes. We begin to pray to see, like the young lady said, yes, me, I don't want to pay attention to those other teams, but it's very critical too to see what they are doing. Like you're watching the Premier, sometimes you see them with radios in their ear, trying to listen to what's happening there. Get your own results. Whatever happens there, whatever wants to happen, let it happen there, but make sure you get your maximum 6 points in these two games that we have. Then when we bring everything to the table, we now know where we stand. Mind you, we cannot lose against South Africa. We cannot lose against Benin Republic because we can't lose against Rwanda, because the three teams that have 7 points, Benin Republic, Rwanda, South Africa, and Rwanda. We can't lose against these 3 teams. If we even pick a draw with any of them, you're gone. So are we prepared? No, because we have never been. And mind you, we brought on a coach to lead us during some period, Finidi George, based on emotions. Where has he worked that we know? But everybody kept saying, let's leave him, until we got to a point where we needed an actual. Yes, Eric Chell, coming from Mali. Mali is also 5th in their group. Whatever it is that they saw. Mind you, we played I think a friendly with Mali, and Mali defeated Nigeria with Eric Chell as their manager. Whatever it is that he has instilled in these players that made them come to camp early and want to get a good result, I just pray. Like I said, Nigeria are very religious. I just pray it works out.
All right, talking about being prepared, talking about preparedness and grassroots development, we allowed it out to the current sitting NFF president, Gusau, who in a landmark within the early hours of this week, within I think Tuesday, has is in the move to revitalize football and sporting activities in Nigeria, where he has taken up the FIFA 3.0 project with about $6 million amounted to that, where we saw the groundbreaking ceremony of a hostel a hostel apartment and two pitches for the football activities in the MKO Abiola Stadium. If you look at your screen, that was the ceremony, the groundbreaking ceremony, where we had the likes of Honorable Abbas, the Speaker of the Assembly, House of Assembly. We had legends. We had a representative of FIFA, Fernandez, at the event on Tuesday. And speaking at the event, Honorable Abbas expressed that the National Assembly is committed to the project, and is commending the collaboration between the National Sports Commission, the NFF, and FIFA. And he says that this is a noble project and the National Assembly will give it its full support. He furthermore congratulated the National Sports Commission and the Nigerian Football Federation, and he thanked FIFA for agreeing to fund the project with a huge sum of 9 billion naira. What have you to say about this project, Rafa?
I hope that money would be judiciously used for that project, and they will not divert the funds to somewhere else entirely, because we are very good at saying yes, we will use it. But the question that begs to answer this is that, yes, Nigeria, when it comes to building edifice and state-of-the-art facilities, we are not one to lag behind when it comes to that. We do it very well. We can even build a facility on the water shelf or any way you want us to build it, but our level of maintenance is nothing to write home about. You know, somebody asked the question, when you build this hostel in Abuja, does it mean that whenever Nigeria has a game to play, they will camp in Abuja before they will travel to whatever stage to go and play? Because now we play our games in Uyo.
Yeah.
So they will camp in Abuja first for some days before they travel down to Uyo. Does it mean that they will also build some other edifices like that? And for how long do they hope to use this edifice that they are about to put on ground? Because if you remember, during the All African Games, Koja in 2003, they built the Games Village.
Yeah.
Now, the Games Village, the purpose of the Games Village is to be able to house athletes who come for games, because the proximity of the Games Village to the stadium is about 5 minutes drive thereabouts, where athletes can go and have whatever they want to do in the stadium. But now, who lives in the Games Village? It has been sold to individuals. So now we are building a hostel for sports footballers and what have you to use. The Abuja Stadium itself is in a bad shape. The track is in a bad shape. The pitch is in a bad shape. What are we doing about it? So it's not a bad thing to have those. Yes, I want to congratulate them for having such projects on ground in the stadium there. But I think if they want to look at it holistically, we're not supposed to be looking at the hostel and the pitch alone. We're talking about the stadium as a whole. Because if you're camping guys in that place, which means that facility has to be state of the art, that has even your gym, your restaurants and what have you, so that when they come, they stay there, they train in your pitch there, they go back to their hostel or what have you. So I just wish they can use that money judiciously to achieve whatever it is that they've set out to achieve, and also maintain it to standard.
All right, thank you so much. So, comrade, Dr. Izu, welcome to the show. We have Dr. Izu now join us on the show. So, let me come to you, Dr. Izu. This groundbreaking event that has a landmark event by the current sitting president of NFF, who has about 68 rooms, hostel, and two football pitch. What do you think? What's your view about this in line with grassroots development and making ourselves prepared or getting our teams prepared for international events and other forms of events?
Well, we must thank FIFA for being charitable and benevolent to Nigeria because ordinarily, if you just take a quick Google, you will understand that the FIFA Goal project has been in Nigeria since 2009. So it has been ongoing. And to align myself with what your guests in the studio just said, the approval process was from 2003 or thereabouts, and they got approval in 2009 when it started. By 2018, Foundation started helping the government maintain the FIFA Goal project pitch in package at the end of the last. That's already telling you over. In fact, my first problem with it is location. Why Abuja? If you are looking at grassroots development, Abuja is the most urban of urban areas in the country. Two, how many people have access to that stadium? How many competitions have been played in that stadium currently? Before we talk of the games, the hostels that are building to it. So if the target is grassroots, why is it not grassroots? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So you have said it's a grassroots development project. Fine. Why is it not in grassroots? Why is it in Abuja, in the National Stadium, that already has its own pitches and training pitches and others? You are pouring water in an already full cup. And like Ralph said, wasn't it last year we went to Olympics and we had to go and borrow bicycle, one of our cyclists, because the particular track for that kind of bicycle is not functional at our stadium. So we have more pressing priorities. I know the money is on paper and it has some things that are beyond our control. But if it's for grassroots development, then that should be in the grassroots. You already have one in Abuja. Why not site in Lagos, for example, or somewhere else like Port Harcourt, where you know that the people there will be really at the grassroots. Then you have stadiums, you have tournaments that will be going on, there will be routine, where you scout and get talent easily. Rather than put it in the national stadium where there's security so people can even have access to it, there's already transport people where it is in town, like people who are living in trenches, Libe, Kubwa, Dede, and the rest of them. Before we think of transporting there to go and play ball, and they won't just live on for God, not play. And so it defeats the aim, and that's why over the years, unlike Morocco, Rwanda, and other countries with similar goal projects, and we have seen what they've achieved, Nigeria has not been able to achieve that because of these fundamental issues. Ralph has talked about corruption, which I know is in Nigeria too, and we hope it doesn't get there. So I just think that we need to put scrutiny. Otherwise, it will also get retired. Yet foundations will also help us maintain this whole study and laying the block. In 2022, some people also cried out that the project has been abandoned for the FIFA pitch. So if you look online, it's just like FIFA Goal project in Nigeria, and the things you see was amazing. So I think we should, apart from building, if you think of maintaining the infrastructure through frequent maintenance, renovations, usage, and then utilizing it for what it is for. Not for crusades, not for political campaigns, not for religious activities, for football development, sports development. That's what it's being used for, not as a guest house for certain people and their concubines or their friends or whatever. We should use it for what it is meant for. So as they are breaking the ground now, we are all seeing what is the timeline for the project? Will it continue for eternity? Is it for 2 years? Is it for 3 years? For 5 years? So that we can start looking at these indicators and know that by the next 4 years, this project should be ready. And then how is it being used? There should be some transparency. If these are done, then God helping us, we can get to where we want to be. I hope the Nigerian virus does not come. That is my fear. But once again, I will thank FIFA for giving us 9 billion naira. It's not a joke. That's almost the budget of some entire states put together. So I think we will thank FIFA, and I hope that the new NFF leadership use it judiciously and not capriciously for their own wins and caprice.
Thank you so much, Dr. Izu, for your view. Dr. Izu was actually talking about why Abuja, why not Port Harcourt, why not Akwa Ibom, and what have you. But let me point out to you that Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. So
when was the last time we played in Abuja? That's the question I want to ask. When was the last time we played
before you ask,
a competitive game in Abuja?
Before you ask when was the last time we played a competitive game in Abuja, let me point out to you that Abuja Stadium is not in a good condition.
Okay.
Yes.
Which I stated earlier.
Yeah, which you stated earlier. We have the stadium in Akwa Ibom, that is better. It's in better condition than Abuja currently. Let me point it out to you that the former Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, had blamed the decay of the Moshood Abiola Stadium on the lack of maintenance, sponsorship budget. There is no budget for maintenance of the National Stadium in his budget. So, but let's also know that the maintenance of the stadium in Uyo, I think, is basically by the state government.
Yes.
It's not by the federal government.
Not federal government.
Yes.
It's a state-owned facility.
So the stadium in Abuja is a national stadium. It's owned by the nation. So if there is no allocation in the budget to maintain this stadium, how then would it be in good condition?
That's why I stated earlier that when was the last time? In fact, the last time I watched a game in that pitch was Konak FC. Konak FC versus Shell P, or what did they call it?
Sheffield FC.
Nigeria had not played a game in that stadium for the longest time. We go to Uyo. Now, let's agree that, okay, you can't build it in Uyo because tomorrow, after building in Uyo, you fix Abuja Stadium or you fix Lagos Stadium. You want something that is sustainable. You want something that is lasting. You want something that is visible. That's why I said I hope that building that facility in Abuja Stadium will make them look into the stadium itself.
Yes, that's the point where we come to asking the current sitting NFF chairman, the Gusau-led committee, if these funds, that's the project, the FIFA 3.0 project, will be judiciously used in the right direction. Because first of all, we must thank him that before now, I think there have been flowing of funds from FIFA, but how has these funds been used?
FIFA supports. I remember one country, Dr. Izuka and also maybe Comrade Soko can bear me witness on this. I think it's Comoros, either Comoros or Mauritania.
Mauritania,
yeah. Their players that played at the last AFCON, I'm sure were practically watching the likes of them, Ian Acho them when they were playing for the Eagles. Now, the money that FIFA gave to them, I think FIFA Go Projects, was what they used in building their facilities.
And that same money is what Gusau is using for building of this project?
The same money was given to Nigeria.
At that moment?
Yes. The same money was given to Nigeria. Now, that team, the other country used it, got a team. Now, every tournament, AFCON, you find that team there. And when you ask them, how did you get to this point? They take you back to, I think, 2015, if I'm not mistaken. But every time we collect the money, that's why I said, I hope they will use the money that has been given to them for this particular project, for that project. You know, when they give you the money, you start saying, actually, we noticed that we didn't have this. We now say, let's use the money to, part of the money. No. There was a purpose for which that money was given. Use it. And then when you use it, don't come tomorrow and say there was not provision for, what's it called? Maintenance. FIFA has given you money. What are you yourself, your own federation, doing to support that which has been given to you? I won't give you raw food and then, like somebody who said, I bought you a fabric for Christmas, and then you're asking me, please, where's the money for sewing? Yeah. So I just pray that they use the money judiciously to do that which has been given to them. If not, we'll just see ourselves abusing funds that other nations are using to grow while we are just eating with both of our hands.
All right, thank you so much, Raphael. Let's hear from Comrade Abraham. Comrade Abraham, what do you think about this? Is it laudable, or is it something the money should have been used in the re-equipment or upgrading of the national stadium instead of building this new project?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ebuka. I would want to say that it's actually a laudable project because I believe that sports facilities are never enough in the country. As someone rightly said, he said we have a very good facility in Uyo already. And I don't think that we should try to want to segregate if it's owned by the state government or it's owned by the federal government. I don't think that should matter. What should matter is that a country like Nigeria, we have a very good world-class stadium in Uyo. The ownership should not be a factor because even in the United States of America and even England, there are some stadiums, there are some facilities that are owned by universities. Are you getting it? So I won't believe that we should be thinking of going to the extent of probably one of the universities, maybe in Abuja, having a very good stadium, a very good pitch, and maybe the Super Eagles and maybe national competitions can be played there. I think in Delta State here, in one of our polytechnics, not university now, I think it has been upgraded to university. The rector then built a world-class stadium. If you see the stadium, you will not believe that it is owned by a polytechnic. I believe that that is the direction that we should be aiming for. This is not to say that our national stadium should be abandoned. I believe that that's not what I'm saying. I believe that the federal government should do more in maintaining our national stadium because that is our pride. This is something that we spent billions and billions of naira to actually construct. I think sometime in 2003 or so. So I believe that maintenance should be something that should be at the forefront. But this is not to say that the FIFA-led projects and FIFA NFF project is not laudable. I wouldn't want to be pessimistic and believe that the money will not be well judiciously used. In as much as we have had antecedents in that direction, but I believe that going forward, we're going to make progress in our new NFA. I believe that strongly. Thank you, Mr. Buka.
All right, thank you, Comrade Abraham. Miss Happiness, you know, there has been so much said already about this project here in the studio. But let's get your view about the maintenance culture so far on various facilities, sporting facilities across the country. What do you think is, or what has been the approaches, and what do you think is the best approach towards the maintenance of our sporting facility across the country? A quick one from you. Miss Happiness, are you there with us?
Yeah.
Did you get my question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, what you said?
Okay, I said having
Come
in
again with
mind
the question.
with this current ongoing project, what has been our maintenance culture on our sporting facility across the nation, and what approach do you think should be the best in maintaining all these facilities? Take, for instance, the MK or Abiola in Abuja.
This between our maintenance structure and culture towards our sporting facility in Nigeria has been very, very poor. Very poor. You were talking about the national stadium there, over there in Abuja. We also have national stadium over here in Lagos and so many other stadiums. I've been opportunity to be there. Even the one at Akwa Ibom, when I was doing school time, I visited like that. The truth is that we don't take care of our sporting facility in Nigeria. So I understand where Mr. Raphael is coming from. Mr. Raphael is scared that the money they will give to them, they'll be able to use the money to accomplish that. Not just accomplishing that, will they maintain? So we don't have a good standard of maintaining our sporting facility here in Nigeria. The way forward to maintaining these sporting facilities in Nigeria is our sporting leaders, those in the federation, they have to be passionate about sports. Yes, they have to be passionate about sport, because I can boldly tell you Nigeria is not fit to host any AFCON. Even if we want to, we are supposed to, but our facilities are not there. They are not good. The federations have to be passionate about sports first before any other thing. If you are passionate, what you have passion for, it is not just being driven about the money or position or power. Something you have passion for, you will always want to maintain and safeguard that thing and see the importance and the benefit and then the result of that thing. So they are not passionate. For me, I don't think they are passionate, because he's talking about come to Lagos and also see our own field. Come and see the stadium here too. In Lagos State, the tracks are not looking, the whole place is just looking unkept. The whole place. Yes, there was a time it was under innovation and all that, but then they are not passionate. Our federation leaders are not passionate. That's the way forward. If they are passionate, and then the money that is being allocated to them from bodies like FIFA and every other sporting body, the money allocated to them should be used for those things. It's not just building the hostel. They might build the hostel to a point and stop. And when the person in office leaves there, the next person comes in and is not concerned about it. They're just playing politics in and out, year in, year out. They're just being political about every other thing. That's why we are suffering here.
All right, thank you.
Very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Happiness, for being on the show this morning. We appreciate you so much. All right, finally, before we round up on this edition, let me get from you, Dr. Izu Desiri. Let me have your quick review about all the matches, a few of the matches that you can grasp for this international break. We have a couple of matches across the globe on this, especially World Cup qualifiers and what have you. We have in the African base, we have the qualification match of Nigeria against Rwanda. We have from outside Africa, we have the match against England and Albania. And having in mind that Tuchel has listed his players, so let's have your quick review of these matches and take that as your last word in 1 minute. Dr. Izu.
Because I was trying to draw your attention to the fight carried by the federation. Just a quick word on the stadium issue. If we are serious, recall that the last stadium renovation was done by Dangote. Before that, Nigeria-Ghana match was announced, vandalized when we drew the match. Since then, the Nigerian government has not put much into it. So for the minister to say that there is no maintenance on his budget, it's a disgrace to the country. But let's also ask ourselves, that stadium generates money. They've been renting it out for crusades, for shows, and for that. Where is that money going to? A church that I will not mention now is going to use that stadium for an event this weekend. Now, where another one will come up subsequent like that. Where do those monies go to? You don't need to have everything in your budget. That's number one. Number two, this FIFA Goal project, for example, just like the case study, 9 billion, what he said. There's no way they will do that hostel for 9 billion. There's no way. So there must be change remaining. Instead, we need to be out of place. We need the balance, we efficiently manage that 9 billion, and then throw the balance into renovating the stadium. The Surulere stadium is a mess. Again, are you waiting for FIFA? So if we use the money that this stadium generates and throw it back in, then you can maintain them without having to make a budget for it. Now, for the prediction, as a Nigerian, this is not Nations Cup, this World Cup we're talking about. We really have to qualify. And in doing so, it has to be a win against Rwanda, in fact, there are 6 more games. Any point we drop now might be fatal. So a draw is even going to be like a defeat. So I'm going to support Nigeria to win. Rwanda is somebody that we can beat, home or away. We have done it before in 2001, ahead of 2002 World Cup. We went to Sudan and beat them. 5-1. And they came to Nigeria and beat them 3-0. That's after we had lost to Sierra Leone 1-0 in Gouin, and we are at the brink of missing out. So we have done it before, and we can't do it again. We have the players. All what we need is the tactical, the coach's tactical ability to pick the right blend of players to complement each other and the right formation. We cannot be playing in this Africa. So we need to pick the right mix of players both in defense and in attack and get that win. We need that win. It's fundamental now to get the win against Rwanda and against Zimbabwe, which I am praying for. In Europe, it's going to really be tense because in the European Nations coming, there's Netherlands versus Spain, there's Italy versus Germany, and then all eyes will be on England because this is Tuchel's first game. And you can see that ahead of his first game, he has called in some players like Henderson that are already causing problems, because he hasn't really played good football with the left Liverpool. So why are we getting players like Henderson back into the squad? So it's going to be a trial for him because if he messes up with England, his career might just go down the drain because he has lost with Bayern Munich at PSG. So the big boys will no longer come for him. Very soon, he might now be trying to coach smaller countries like Nigeria. So I think it's a big chance for him to show that he still has technical without to win. But as a Nigerian, I'm praying for Nigeria to win against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Izu, and I think we need to come to Mr. Raf. Your thoughts
on the game for this weekend.
And your last words for this weekend.
For everybody has had their mind on the Nigeria-Rwanda game, so I think that's what has been at the back of our minds recently. It has on the African continent. In Europe, I think they have, I don't know if it's the European Nations League that they're playing at the moment. We have some big games. Netherlands playing against Spain. I think Italy is playing against Germany.
England against Albania.
Yeah, big games to look out for. But at the moment, I don't think anybody wants to be thinking of all those games when the one in our backyard has not been sorted out. So maybe when we sort our own out tomorrow, we'll begin to look at other games. Hopefully we win the game against Rwanda. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your contribution on this edition of the show this morning. Most especially to our guests. Thank you, Raphael Ojakomo, for finding time to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Dr. Edesiru. Thank you to Miss Happiness. And thank you to Comrade Abraham. Above all, thank you to my co-anchor for being my co-captain on this.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right, and most especially and above every other thank God for making us alive to witness today and to be part of this show. So viewers, let me take a moment to remind ourselves of the main goal of Lent, one of which is repentance, that we need to reflect on our past mistake and seek for forgiveness. And second is renewal. Let's renew our faith and spiritual practices. Lastly, preparation. Let's get prepared for the resurrection of Jesus Christ on Easter Sunday. And let's also remember that Lent is a meaningful time for Christians to reconnect with their faith, reflect on their values, and prepare for the joy of Easter. If you're not yet in the mood for Lent, I urge you, please repent and believe in the gospel, as we say in Mark 1 verse 15. And I leave you with this quote: Lent is a journey of returning to the heart of who we are truly. So we come your way again next time. I am your uncle Chukwe Bukaike. Be blessed.